Hey YouTube, today I'm going to go through all the flip phones slash dumb phones that I've had in the past and rank them from the worst to the best so that you can get a better understanding of which products are actually good out there. And this is just my opinion, but um, yeah, I hope you get something out of it. Alright, so I'm going to start with the worst, and I would say the worst flip phone that I've had so far was the Cat S22. And most reviews about it online are positive, and I don't exactly understand why. Um, the only good thing that I got from it was it was very durable, but other than that, it essentially was a really bad version of a smartphone. It was touchscreen, it had all the smartphone apps. It wasn't even like it wasn't Kyocera, it was straight up Android. And so to me that makes no sense. Like, there's no difference between that and getting a smartphone, except the smartphone just works better. Um, and not only that, but I don't think you can T9 text. It's been a while. I sent it back because I was so unhappy with it. But um, I don't think you can T9 text, so you have to type on the little tiny flip phone screen. And even I have skinny fingers, and even with my fingers, I was pushing other buttons. It was so hard to do. It does have like the swipe feature, whatever that's called. But even still, it was a pain in the butt, and it was not worth it. The price on Amazon goes around $60 to $80, and honestly, it was not a pleasant experience for me at all. All right, the next phone, some of these I have, and some of these I sent back. Um, the next phone is the Plum Flipper. This phone is all right. Um, it's essentially just a flip phone. It doesn't have KaiOS. And this is what I think a lot of people are looking for, but it's almost too basic. All you can really do is call and text on this phone, and it's kind of pricey for not having many features. Um, yeah, it was just all right. Like, it's just a decent flip phone. Um, I don't know if I would recommend this to anyone because you can pay the same price for a better flip phone like a Nokia. And one really annoying feature about this is the camera they put on the bottom half of the flip phone. And it's really annoying when you take a picture because usually my fingers are up here, and you typically assume that it's the camera's up here so that your fingers are never in the way. But you have to move your fingers like all the way down here and take like an awkward. I don't know why they build it like this, but to me it's a major design flaw. And it does have a nice snap to it, but other than that, it is not that great. And that goes for around $70 on Amazon. All right, the next phone I also sent back because it had some issues. But I believe it's the Alcatel Go Flip 5. And I actually really love this phone. It was a great in-between phone between a smartphone and a dumb phone. It had KaiOS, which I talk about a lot. It's not as developed as Android software, but um, it has some features like Google Maps. The only difference is like Google Maps is like it doesn't track you along your path. It just kind of tells you where to go, and then you write down the directions. But it's still good if you're just lost. Um, the only there's a huge problem with this phone though. When I got it, it has a major power issue where sometimes I would just be talking on the phone and it would just shut off completely. And I was trying to figure out why it did this, and maybe I just needed to get a new phone. But a lot of reviews I saw online, they were dealing with the same issue. So it's kind of a bummer because I actually really like this phone, but it just is not. It does not have good quality, and this also goes around $70. But if it has a major issue like that, I would not recommend this. Um, yeah. All right, the next phone is the Nokia 6300. This phone is pretty good. Um, it's got Kyocera, which is good, and it's very sleek, which I like. You put in your pocket, like it almost feels non-existent compared to all the big smartphones you're used to, or even some flip phones that are kind of bulky. It is very slim, and that's probably one of the better qualities about it. And it's not the strongest phone, but I've dropped this like a million times, and it actually holds up pretty well. All that happens is the case comes off and the battery pops out, but nothing gets damaged. You just have to put it back and it's fine. So I will give it that. It actually is pretty durable, even for kind of cheap plastic. Um, but that is one thing I really don't like, and I've talked about this before, but it feels some of these modern dumb slash flip phones just feel like a toy that you give your kids. Like it it just feels so weak and plasticky, and it's kind of depressing, honestly. I wish they still made great quality dumb phones, but anyways, and I've talked about this in our video too, but when you it has a really sticky keyboard after a while where you press a button and it goes to like the next letter when you're typing, and it's extremely annoying. And texting on a dumb phone is annoying as it is because it just takes forever. But when it's like sticking all the time and you always have to go back and double check, and that's one major con of this phone. And another major con is because it's not a flip phone, there's actually flaws with that, which I did not expect. But because these are accessible, one of them's like an emergency or a camera. And if you accidentally push that in while you're walking around, while it's in your pocket or whatever, it will turn on the camera and it will destroy your battery, which is super frustrating. And then another thing that goes along with that is it can take screenshots. I don't even know. I haven't even figured this out, honestly. But all I know is I'll go into my gallery and it says I have like 20 screenshots, and I'm just like, it's just the black screen. And I'm like, this is so annoying. So it's kind of a good phone if you want to try it out. Um, but it's got its own problems. And this goes around $74 on Amazon, I believe. All right, these next two phones I think are actually like good. Um, it's unfortunate because most of flip phones and dumb phones that I mentioned so far are just those are some of the better ones, and yet they're still not that great, which is unfortunate. But you shouldn't be surprised that they don't make amazing dumb phones anymore. But these next two are actually pretty awesome. So the next one I went with is the Kyocera Dura XV, and this phone is a beast. It is extremely durable, as it's meant to be, and it's waterproof even. So it's got like all these covers to prevent the ports from getting sand and dirt and water in them. And so for that reason, I really love it. It just feels good. This is one of those flip phones that feel good in your hand, and it's got a nice snap to it. Um, this does not have KaiOS, which honestly is its only con. Well, there's one other thing, but it does not have KaiOS, which can make it hard if you're new to the flip phone game and you don't want to get rid of Google Maps. That's honestly one of the biggest things that I didn't want to get rid of, and so it was hard to transition to this. Um, in case I got lost. So that's honestly one of the biggest things. Um, oh, also another pro is it's got these customizable buttons. Um, so this orange one and this white one, you can actually customize, and it'll go to like your music or your alarm, your timer, whatever. And so that's kind of cool. But yeah. Um, and so it doesn't have KaiOS. And the other con about this, I would say, is it's just expensive. I want to say I got this for around $300, and on Amazon I think it's 235. So it is pricey. It's a great work phone though. If you're in some kind of work that could be a potential hazard to your phone, dropping it or breaking it or whatever. If you're worried about that, then this might be the way to go. But honestly, like even as I talked about before, even like this cheap plastic one, it's not the best quality. Well, I've dropped this and it's still pretty durable. Um, so you really don't need to pay $200 for an extremely durable phone, I don't think. So, but that's kind of up to you. But I do like the Kyocera Dura XV. Is I've actually gone with this for about 2 years and it's done me well. So, all right, next, and this is the last one that I've had. I went through a lot of flip phones over the years just because it's really hard to find a good quality flip phone. And honestly, this is my most recent one, but it's also been the best one I've had so far. And it's the Nokia 2780 Flip. And I was hesitant to get this one because at the time it was kind of pricey, and I just did not want to spend my money on a flip phone. Honestly, the whole reason I'm getting a flip phone or a dumb phone is just to save money. Well, that's a major reason. But um, so far this is kind of like the Nokia 6300, except um, except it's because it's a flip phone. It's not as bad as the other ones. Like I have no issues with the battery turning on. I have no issues with taking screenshots. Um, it does feel a little toyish, but it also feels a little bit more trustworthy when I drop it. Um, not that I purposely drop it or anything, but it feels a little bit better quality, and it essentially is a better version of the Nokia 6300 in my opinion. It's also very slim. I really like the profile on it, and so it's nothing too bulky. Like compared to the last one, the Kyocera, this is very it can be kind of bulky. So if you really want to feel like there's nothing in your pocket, um, I think this is the way to go. And this one goes around $80 to $90, so it is a little pricey. But overall, this is probably the one and only phone that I have truly liked so far. Um, and I think this one's probably one of the better ones. So this is kind of what I recommend going with if you're considering going to a flip phone. Perhaps you're not needing all that. Perhaps you don't care about some of the other features, and in that case, the Plum might be fine. If you just want a very basic phone with you don't care about the KaiOS, you don't, and that's still durable. Like you're not gonna break your Plum flip phone, I don't think. But anyways, that's just my review. And I hope you guys like this video, and I hope it helps. So thanks for watching.